Well, it's a pleasure to meet you as well, and I'm so happy to be talking to you today.
Thank you.
I hear you have a new book out, and I'd love to hear a little bit more about it. Your
Oh,
book?
I think you might, yes, I think you might have cut out there just a smidge, but I can
Okay.
talk about my new book.
I would love to hear a little bit about it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm very excited that my husband and I wrote a book. It's essentially our life story, our memoir, so to speak. Not that you can have a big memoir at our age, but, we're middle aged. So really our goal of writing the book was just to share with others what what our life experiences were like, hoping that others would find commonality with that. We've been through many trials and tribulations, just like anybody else, a lot of challenges due to our skeletal dysplasia primarily, but also a lot of successes too. And so we just hope that it's a somewhat entertaining, but hopefully inspirational read for others who, may or may not know us from our television show, or just who want to read about someone who's gone through a lot of good times and a lot of bad times.
Okay, wonderful. And with your book, I'm sure you talk a lot about your children.
Yes.
And I, as a mother of 3, I am really interested in getting my children eating healthy, staying active, really, on the ball with trying to offer a variety of fruits and veggies. What are your tips on staying active together during the summer with your children?
Yeah, it can be a challenge, right? In the summertime, trying to keep them active and healthy. Like anything else, I think it's a balance of, adequate sleep, good nutrition, and then, at least an hour of activity a day. It's a little easier with my son, who's a very active young man to begin with. With our daughter, it takes a little bit more work. And so what we've had to find is we've had to sort of schedule in active time activity time. It's not in my husband or my nature to be particularly active people, especially given our disability. And so we have to find ways that are healthy activities to still stay fit. But as a little person, like our kids are little people as well, although it may be harder to do a lot of active types of sports and things of that nature, it's even more important to me that we're active because it's easier for us to have too much weight that can be detrimental for our bones. And so we just do things that are healthy, like swim lessons. We've started ballet. So we've had to schedule things, as you know, with a busy person. If you don't put it in the calendar, it's not going to happen. But by signing up for lessons and putting it in the calendar, I think we've gotten a little bit more organized. It took us a little while, but allowing us to keep the kids pretty healthy and trying to get at least an hour in a day of exercise.
That's wonderful. And are these activities that you choose things that the kids tend to choose, or is this something that you like to choose? What are their favorite activities to do?
Yeah, that's a fantastic question. I found whatever it is in life that you want to achieve with your kids, it's best if they like it. And so what I try and do is I try and give them good options so that they ultimately get to make the choice. So I don't, with our kids being little people, I didn't offer them, tackle football as one of the options, but I did offer swimming and ballet and soccer and, baseball, and, sort of said, okay, out of all of these, what do you want to try? And we just try things. And if they like it, they keep up with it. And if they don't, then we find something else. So I think it's all about sort of choosing your choices to offer them. And then that helps them to feel ownership, but also you still have some oversight.
That's wonderful. And do you also use that when you're trying to serve fruits and veggies as well? What are your tips and tricks for serving that rainbow?
Yeah, no, that can be tough, right? Every day it's a challenge, I think, to get kids to eat that rainbow of healthy, food. You want to have the red vegetables, the green leafy vegetables, the yellow, the orange, and so it can be a challenge. But what I found with my kids is that again, we give them good options to choose from. So actually, one of the things we've started doing is planning out our menu for dinner every night, and so they have to pick, one of these options from this category, one of the green leafy vegetables, one of the either orange or yellow, and then there's the lean protein options. And so they get to help plan out from the week of options that, we've put together for them. Then they feel empowered as to what they're choosing and excited about it. Sometimes they get to help cook a little bit and then actually get to eat it.
Oh, that's wonderful. And it sounds like they have a little bit of power in choosing. So it makes it a little easier. And as a doctor, what's your best advice for leading a healthy life and staying active? And just, as a mom and everything I do?
Yeah, so from my perspective, it has to be easy. As a busy mom, as a pediatrician, I know it's hard for the families that I talk to be able to, maintain that healthy diet, adequate sleep, good activity level when you've just got so many other things going on. And I know I'm as guilty as any parent. I work all day and then I come home and I want everything to be perfect, but I have to realize I'm not super mom. And when I first became a mom, I thought I'm going to start a little garden vegetable patch. I'm going to have these fresh herbs. That lasted all of like 2 to 3 weeks, and then everything was dead. So what I've learned is that, okay, there has to be some compromise. I might not be able to grow my own vegetables, but I can still have healthy options that are easy. And so, we have, Florida orange juice ready to go in the lunch boxes. So it's easy to grab, but I know it's healthy. I put in, the carrots that are already sliced, peeled, ready to eat. So it's easy to throw them into a lunchbox. I just try and make our options of what we choose really easy. It takes a little more organization, I think, on the front end, but then on the later down the road, it's a lot easier to be healthy.
Do you have any organizational pieces in your home? Like, is there a certain area that you can go and grab snacks or goodies?
Yes, I'm a little bit of an organizational, what's the word? Crazy person. I love organization. I have a hard time keeping up with my own self in that way. But what I've done is I've taken sort of the pantry and the refrigerator, and the bottom drawers are healthy options for the kids. So they've got healthy snacks in the pantry, like some nuts or, some healthy crackers. And then in the pantry, they have their fruits and their vegetables that they can grab all by themselves. And so I try to keep them organized, number one, so I can find them and restock them as needed a lot easier. But I can also allow my kids who are very independent and like to choose for themselves the option to go and grab it, when they're hungry. And they love that. They'd much rather pick something healthy that they can do all by themselves than, have to ask mom to get it for them.
That's wonderful. Now, do you use that organization as well as as you wrote your book and, with your busy life, balancing everything? How does that transition into actually writing on top of everything else?
Yeah, I wish I had been a little more organized with that, but it did take some organization skills in that we had to sort of say, okay, we have this much time, this many chapters to write. We, once we had our overall vision for the book, then we just had to spend a lot of late nights writing, one chapter at a time. And, although we wrote it over the course of weeks, it felt like I wrote it in a weekend. That was a little tougher than I'd anticipated. But maybe if there's a book number 2, I'll have learned some lessons to apply next time.
That's wonderful. Well, I really loved learning more about you and your life, as well as being able to implement some of the things that you're doing at your home into my life, at my home with my kids. So I really appreciate your time and talking to me and going over all of the information about your book.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. And I hear you've recently had some illness in the family, so I hope everyone is getting better soon, because this time of year, it's so hard to stay healthy with
Great.
Kids back to school.
Thank you so much.
Take care.